welcome to another episode of Soundtrack Our Lives. I'm here this morning with Andrea Lowe from Accountable Solutions Limited. And as I've just made the mistake myself of thinking that you were an accountant, and that's not quite the case, is it? So what do you do at Accountable Solutions?
So I train people on accounting software, but also do consultancy and implement new systems, maybe transfer. Not most people are on computerised systems these days, but quite a lot of moving from one system to another. So
this might be the likes of what have you got? Sage, Xero. Are the only two that spring to mind. There aren't many others, I'm sure.
Yes. So the products. So I mean, I've been doing this in my own business since 2000.
Yeah.
And at that time, before that, I worked for a Pegasus reseller.
Oh yes.
So people may or may not have heard of Pegasus.
I've heard of Pegasus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's at the time. Anyway. So that was my primary thing that I did, Pegasus. But I wanted a product that I could sell as well, so I became a Sage reseller.
Yeah. So
I do Pegasus through resellers because it's all reseller based, so I don't do any direct work with Pegasus.
Yeah.
But I do work with Sage directly with customers and also through subcontracted. A lot of my work is subcontracted work.
And so most of your work is within Sage, but you do other elements?
No, most of my work is probably Pegasus at the moment,
Pegasus,
but through resellers.
Yeah.
So not direct with customers.
And what would be your typical customer that would come to you for your help?
Well, it would be on. So if it wasn't the subcontracting, so not Pegasus resellers, it would be a company that's either already using Sage and wants some help and training on it, or a customer who's moving to Sage.
Yeah.
So, for example, in the last few months, I tend to say accounting, but payroll as well. So I've been working with a company who had their external accountant run their payroll.
Yeah.
And they wanted to bring it in house.
Right.
So
you sort of help that transition.
Yeah. So the data was provided by the accountant, and then I imported it into Sage Payroll.
Yeah.
And then
sort of got it all set up.
And then trained them and handheld them on their first month. Yeah,
that first terrifying month when maybe they're not quite sure what they're doing. At least they know they've got you to fall back on, haven't they? To sort of, I need to do this and we haven't done it yet, and you can talk them through that process and things. So, and location-wise, so you're based in Rugby, in Warwickshire, and are you kind of local, regional, or do you do national coverage?
I've always travelled quite a lot.
Yeah.
My biggest customer, sort of on the subcontracted side, for quite a long time, probably changed more recently, are based in Scunthorpe.
Oh, so a bit of a trek away.
A lot of their customers are north, basically. Yeah. So I used to do a lot of travelling, and I spent quite a long time trying to get away from the travelling. But if you're doing training, they want you there, really.
They want you in person, don't they? And I know we've got the technology of Zoom meetings and things, but I'm personally much more of a fan of being face to face with someone. It's a little bit like these podcasts.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the technology on a phone that I can sit and record it with somebody wherever. And I might have to do that with some people, but I much prefer people to come here and actually talk in person. It just feels a lot more real.
Yes. I mean, in COVID, obviously, it was all online, and it does work. But as you say, I don't think you get that rapport with people.
No.
If you know people already, I think it's easier to do it online.
Yeah, definitely.
And you know, if I haven't got to travel 2 hours, that's a big help.
Yeah, I mean the drive is sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's stressful.
Yeah.
So it could hinge either way, couldn't it? But
Yeah.
Okay, and as I say with everyone on these shows, I'll always put all of your details and your song choice in the description. So if anybody wants to talk about help with accounting solutions and transferring or migrating from one system to another, they can click on the link and get in touch with you via that.
Okay.
So we might as well jump straight into song choice number 1, and you've picked Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds with Into Your Arms.
Yeah.
And what made you choose this?
I just love it, to be honest.
It's good. Do you know?
It's just such a love song, and I don't know. There's obviously a sadness to it. I don't quite. I mean, I've looked up a little bit about, you know, why he wrote it.
Yeah.
And I just did read that somebody said it's a song all about loss and sorrow that flows from it, whether it's the end of a relationship or the death of a friend or family member. But I just think it's beautiful.
Yeah. He's a wonderful artist, Nick Cave.
Yeah.
Quite underrated, I think. Seems to be one of those that maybe not a lot of people would know much of his work. But
No, and I only got into him fairly recently, to be honest. I mean, I don't know when the song, I think it's maybe 2000-ish the song came out.
Yeah, early 2000s, I would say.
But I really didn't know much about him, to be honest.
No.
And then I can't remember how I heard this song, but then I've listened to more, and it's, you know, probably my number one song on Spotify, to be honest.
I was when you get your annual most listened to things, and that's right at the top. Yeah. Well, that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah.
When the song makes the top of the playlist on Spotify, it definitely means something.
And the other thing, I learned to play piano when I was probably in my 40s. I just fancied a challenge, really. My husband's aunt had a piano that she was in her house that she hadn't used for years. I think she had it for her 21st birthday. So I was, you know, can I have it?
Yeah.
So had it, got it retuned and everything. And I had a piano teacher, and she taught very much about phrasing of music. And I think, and she was very strict. And
I always imagine piano teachers to be strict for some reason.
Yeah, she was. She was very old. You know, she was quite an age, but very. Told me off when I didn't practice. I think I was a nightmare student for her. But it reminded me of the phrasing, which is kind of like the phrasing of this song, I think.
Yeah, it's really really cool.
Yeah.
But if in fact I know why that is, because I had my music teacher at secondary school, Mrs. Fitzsimons, was an absolute crazy woman, but very strict, and she was a piano player first and foremost.
Yeah.
As well as other things, and I think that's obviously where that come from. When you talk about phrasing, for people who maybe aren't very musically minded, what does that mean?
I'm not sure if I can explain it particularly well, but I guess it's just the sentence and the fact it all just kind of flows together.
Yeah. So it's the way the song kind of from start to finish. It's not very disjointed. It just has a really nice.
Not from start to finish, but the sort of maybe a sentence of it.
Yeah.
The way it sort of starts maybe low and then joins and comes back again.
Yeah. Okay. I need to have a little look into that. It intrigued me a little bit. I thought I'd just have to ask what phrase it is, because I love music. I couldn't play music apart from maybe chopsticks. I think if my life depended on it, perhaps I need to do something about that. But okay. Song choice number 2 for today. Someone I've not heard of it, Ellie Bleach, with Pamela.
Yeah, so Ellie Bleach is one of my really good friends' daughter.
Yeah.
I've known Liz Bleach since we were about 18.
Okay.
Ellie's probably 25, 26. No, she might be older than that. Anyway, in her 20s. She's been playing music, writing music. She also played guitar originally, now she plays keyboards, probably for 6-7 years.
Yeah. And
she's grown as an artist. Last couple of years she got a manager, and then last year she got signed by an agent.
Yeah, so she's making really good progress, and it's going really well. Yeah.
Yeah. So last year she supported. The first thing the agent did was got on a support tour.
Yeah.
With another band called 10 Tons, who is I've forgotten his name now. Quite a well-known artist's brother.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Can't remember his name now. And then she did her own tour this springtime, did around the country basically. She's done She went to. She's got a big following in America.
Yeah.
And her. She did a concert, not a concert, a festival over in America. I don't know, but it's called SXSW. I think it's.
Yeah.
Don't know.
It's a big festival.
Big
over
festival
in the States, yeah.
over in the States. Yeah.
Brilliant.
And she's doing quite a few festivals.
It's
this summer as well.
A really good way, and I know we're sort of in an age of what do you call them, talent shows and reality things where it's what is it now? X Factor. Sorry,
Yes.
what it was called. I don't watch them. I'm not a fan of them, and I'm sure there's some people on them that have got a lot of talent. But overall, from what I could see when I did watch them, it just seems a bit gimmicky. So it's quite nice when you talk about somebody that you know, and the work and the effort of writing and recording and releasing songs, of then getting a manager, then getting an agent, and then going on tours, and actually doing what I always envisioned that you would do if you wanted to make a success in music.
The old-fashioned way,
put
really.
The old-fashioned way. You put the work in. You get yourself in playing in pubs and gigs, and then bigger gigs, and you get seen, and your audience grows, and inevitably, there is the social media that goes with it, and hopefully, a following is building, and that people are buying the music, or they're streaming it nowadays. But how awesome that she's done it that way, and it's growing, and she can see.
And she's stuck with it. She's stuck with it as well, yes.
Yeah.
And she's developed, and her style's changed slightly, but she's got a really good voice. It's a bit of a different voice.
Yeah.
Really, I can't really describe it, to be honest.
Quite distinctive.
Quite distinctive, yes.
So the link to that song will be in the description. I'm pointing, like the camera's not even on me, below the video.
Yeah.
So I would encourage everyone who's listening to the podcast, not now because we haven't finished, but at the end of the podcast, go and have a listen.
Yeah.
Follow Ellie, follow her on social medias, get her stuff on Spotify. It's just great to see people actually putting that work in, and I wish her all the success in the world. Hopefully it takes off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, hopefully that'll go well for her. So, and the next, we'll jump to the next song from an artist who's very well known, The Killers. I mean, this is just such a track. This is Mr. Brightside, isn't it? What an anthem. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It's just awesome. So what made you choose this one?
When I thought about 5 songs, it was really difficult.
It's a nightmare, isn't it?
Yes.
Let's not underplay this. It's really, really tough.
And I just thought, I don't even play this a lot, to be honest, but it brings back memories, I guess.
Yeah.
And so, as I said, my biggest customer, quite a while, based in Scunthorpe, they always have, they call it an appreciation party at Christmas time. It's basically a Christmas party, but I think it gets around the tax rules. It's an appreciation party. And it's always the last song of the night.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those, the last few drunk people on the
That's it.
the dance
the
floor.
stragglers, and the arms are in the air.
And they're all hugging each other. Yeah.
But what a night, and it's a great song to finish a night on, and it's just, and everyone, it's really uplifting, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really uplifting.
I mean, if you actually read the lyrics, it's not particularly uplifting. I think the song's about jealousy and maybe his girl. There's some I read about, maybe it was about his girlfriend cheating on him, but forget the lyrics as such. Just listen to the upbeatness of the song.
Funnily enough, that was on another earlier episode where the actual sound or the vibe of the song isn't in keeping with the lyrics. Like you say, that song, and it is a jealous song. He's there, and he's the girl of his dreams is perhaps going off with another guy, and it's a bit despair from this fella. So the message isn't great, but somehow it's turned itself into this uplifting, iconic song, despite that, which is odd. But yeah, it is an anthem. If anyone hasn't heard it yet, you have to go and have a listen. So we're on to your fourth choice, and it's I've not heard of this band either actually. Fontaines DC, Liberty Belle.
Yeah, I don't know when I came across these either, to be honest. But they're from Dublin. Apparently the band were going to be called Fontaines, but apparently there's another band already called it. So it's Fontaines DC, which is Dublin City.
Oh, okay, yeah. So just a little tweak on it to get past that.
Very Irish accent.
Yeah.
And I just really like the sound, the accent, and the music. It's quite quite rocky, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're very. I mean, they Radio 6. They were. Sorry. Sorry. Radio 6, I think, gave them Band of the Year in 2019 or something like that.
Oh, so quite well.
Yeah, and their latest song is on the radio a lot at the moment as well.
A lot of airtime.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I haven't heard of them, but
again, go. People who may be watching this, go and check them out.
Go and have a listen.
I went to a festival in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, and I already knew them, but they were playing there. Quite young lads. Not a lot of stage presence, to be honest. It's a bit disappointing.
Right.
but the music was really good.
Yeah. See, it's funny, isn't it? Because sometimes people they'll sound fantastic, and they'll even sound good on stage, but they might not quite have that something. There's just something, isn't there? The way some artists.
Some people come on and talk to the audience,
and
they didn't. They just played their music and things. So
they didn't have that involvement.
No.
But like you say, the music's still great. Well worth a listen.
Yeah.
I had a listen earlier. It's a cracking song, actually.
Yeah.
Well worth it. And then your final choice, and this, I played this on the radio the other day. This is absolutely brilliant. This song, Baz Luhrmann, "Everybody's Free."
Yeah.
I think to wear sunscreen in brackets is the official name of the song. And it's a lyrical track. If anyone hasn't heard this, it's a bit of a beat, and it's just him talking, and it's incredible. I can't think of another way to describe it. It's an incredible song. What he says, and what made you choose this then? Is it?
It's quite a personal song to me and my daughter, to be honest. But as you say, it's basically, it starts off with the saying "wear sunscreen," and then goes on to say, everything else I'm going to talk about is my own rambling thoughts. And he goes on to say things like, do something that scares you every day.
Yeah.
And that's funny, I listened to it on the way over this morning and I thought, this is what I'm doing today, I'm doing something that scares me.
I'm listening to Baz and his advice.
But, dance and respect your elders and, all lots of advice of life, basically.
Yeah.
And it's everybody should listen to it and take a bit from it, I think.
Yeah, I think it's incredibly powerful in his message, and if you listen to it, it resonates. And you said here now, now we're a bit older, and you look at that and you think, oh, God, I wish maybe if I'd have known or listened to some of these things when I was younger, might have made a difference in life.
But equally, he kind of says that we wouldn't have taken the advice when we were young. People do, I think it's fictitious, but he's talking to a group of children finishing school, I think, and it's like, you think this now, but in 20 years you'll look back and think something different.
Yeah.
So we're all the same, really.
Yeah, we all know best, don't we, when we're younger, and think we've got it all sussed, and as you get a bit older, and you're like, well, actually, we didn't know anything. We didn't have a clue, but we thought we did. We're all the same. And you sit there as well, so it's very personal to yourself, and that your daughter has this tattooed backwards so that she can read in the mirror.
So it's on her rib cage.
Yeah. And
it's the word sunscreen written backwards.
Mirrored,
so when she looks at it in the mirror,
yeah,
she can see it and remind herself of some
of
the things.
Advice in the song. Yeah. No, very good. And that's it. Well, we've got to the end of your episode, so thank you very much for coming in. The song choices are cool. Like I say, everyone go and have a listen to them if you've not heard them. Get in touch with you on the description if that's of use to you. But thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Cheers.